Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, and welcome to this afternoon's training. And we are going to talk about customizing PLR video. If you can hear me, please put the letter Y in the question box. Well, I appreciate it. Okay, thank you. And this is going to be the 2.0 version of the training. We may have to do this in two parts. There were a few things that I did this on my YouTube channel. And then a couple of people have just had questions about this issue, and the basic strategy has not changed, but there's one part of it that is going to work differently because of YouTube, right? But I have a solution, and I might not be able to do it today, but I'm going to lay out the strategy today, right? And then we'll talk about how you'd execute that on a technical basis. So I'm going to share my screen right now. And okay, so let's dive into this here. Okay, so first let's go back and let's talk about why you use PLR video anyway, right? So one of the reasons why you want to do video in general is just easy to consume on mobile. I don't know about you. I've seen people scroll, and I've done it myself. Reading things on mobile, whether it's on PDF or on a website, it's just hard to do. And a lot of people are doing that stuff now, and you want people to consume the content, right? I mean, it's not enough anymore just to get it out there. And sometimes it takes a little longer than, the minute that people have. Oh, let's see. I've got the wrong thing up here. Let's see. Let's kind of put this up here. Yeah, I'm showing the wrong monitor. Okay, thanks, Dana. Okay, so you should be able to see my screen differently now. So, okay, good. So yeah, so one of the things is that, it's just easier to consume on mobile. And so you want to have something that people are going to be able to get all of, right? You don't want to have to either leave it to chance or kind of go back over it. You want to make sure they get it all. Now, the other thing is that it's easy to view passively, right? And again, it's just a fact in our society right now. And this isn't a negative thing. It's just a fact. I mean, people don't read and people don't listen. I don't say that to be insulting of people. It's just a fact. I mean, people would just rather not read and rather not listen. They rather have it kind of piped into them. And so video does that very well. And so, that I'm not saying that you don't want to have a blog post. I'm not saying that you don't want to write things. I'm saying people just generally dismiss things they have to really kind of focus on. And they like to have things that they can get passively. And so you and I have to just kind of be ready for that as marketers and information marketers, right? We have to be willing to kind of go there with people. And video helps you to establish a connection. Once I've kind of seen you on video, I think I know you a little bit, right? That may or may not be fully true, but it's just the fact of the matter. It helps you and I to establish a connection. And so using PLR video and doing video ourselves is going to help us to establish a connection. Now, I know you might be saying right now, well, how am I going to establish a connection if I'm buying PLR video? But I'm going to get to that. Video does have an increased perceived value. And that's whether or not you do it, whether or not you just release content on your social media, or you release content on your blog. If you release a lot of video content, you will be perceived at a higher value, right? And again, it's really just because people just don't value text the way they used to. It increases time on your site, right? So if you're into SEO, and you're into really kind of getting people to buy things, the longer people spend time on your site, the more they start looking around and getting curious and clicking on links. If you can keep them there for a little while, you know what? I mean, it's just a kind of a fact. You're going to probably make more money if you can keep them on your site. And video does that, right? So you don't want to have people, and here's what I tell people all the time, and it almost seems counterintuitive that social media is really designed to get people to your website. I would never advocate that you totally just say, well, I don't need a website. All I need is a Facebook page. Well, have you ever tried to focus on anything on Facebook. I mean, you can be watching a Facebook Live, and then something will come up on your dashboard right inside of Facebook, and you're distracted. You'll stop listening to that just to pick up on something else. Oh, somebody PM'd me, So um, the fact of the matter is, your message is only going to be partially heard, even if you get it out there on social media. You can't count on the fact that I had 700 views on my video. More than likely, a good number of those views are going to be distracted. If you have probably almost a fourth of those views and they're looking at it on your website and all they got to do is kind of focus on your stuff, that's a more high quality view than if you had it on social media. When you use video, you're going to be easy to differentiate your content, differentiate your content. It's easier, right? And it is because, again, I hear your voice. You have voice inflections. I can watch you sometimes. It's easier to differentiate your content. You can say the very same thing on video that you might say in text, but it's harder to differentiate if it's not done in another format. And video is versatile, right? I can put video on my site. I can sell it in my course. I can do it as part of a coaching program. I can even do it on a webinar, right? I mean, if you use GoToWebinar, I can show you a video on GoToWebinar. And it is very versatile in terms of delivering content, delivering value to the people that are listening to you and following you. And it's shareable, right? I mean, that's where the whole concept of viral video came from, right? You don't really hear a whole lot about viral blog articles. That's because blog articles don't tend to go viral. Viral podcasts don't tend to go, right? It's not any knock on podcasts. They're a different format. Viral typically happens with video because just of that nature. Video is very shareable. When you see something that you liked on video, what do people do? They just hit the share button. Man, you got to see this, right? And typically you're talking about 3 or 4 minutes. So you think, well, you know what? I watched this for 3 or 4 minutes. It's not going to kill them to watch it. This is really going to benefit it. I'm going to share it, right? So video is shareable. But what's the challenge to doing PLR video, right? So what's the challenge? So if all those those things are true of video, and what's the challenge of using PLR video? Well, number one, typically if you buy it, it's not done in your voice. So that's one challenge. So you might think, well, man, this doesn't sound like me. I wouldn't say this. I probably wouldn't say it that way. And so there's a challenge. So you've got this PLR video. It's great instruction. It's great information, but it's not done in your voice. And the other thing is that you might buy a pack of PLR videos and you might think, well, man, they didn't really cover everything they should have covered. And so you have a PLR video and you think, well, man, they should have covered this other thing, but they didn't. And so I've either got to kind of go back and explain that, or I've got to just ignore it. But that's another challenge to using PLR video. The other thing, it might be, and someone raised this to me a little while back, and then I just heard from someone in my support the other day. Well, I'm a woman. I love your videos, but I want to be able to use them. What should I do if I'm a woman? I want to be able to project the knowledge. I want to have the authority. I want to have the authority come back to me. Can I do this and be a different gender? That's another challenge. Another challenge is that the video you buy might not be engaging, right? So, again, not everybody knows how to be engaging on video. Not everybody knows how to teach on video in the way that you want to take that video and deliver it to your customers and your clients, right? They may not be engaging. That might just be a fact of the matter. The other thing is that how many of you have found this to be the case? Somebody might teach something in a video or in a video training, and it might not be representative of your teaching. I have a particular point of view on Facebook, and you might get something from me on Facebook. You might say, oh, man, that's not exactly what I believe. And so how do you work with video? Because it's already done, it's already on the video. How do you leverage the video at the same time you want it to be representative of you and what you teach and what you teach your people in your brand, your own personal brand? And sometimes the fact of the matter is a video just might be out of date. They might have covered something that as of right now, well, man, it's not even all that relevant, right? That happens also. And then, the video just does not have your branding. I mean, there are ways to kind of take the video and put your watermark on it. But again, a video is a little more difficult to brand with your logo and all these other things before you deliver it. And then they may have branding you don't like. So that's another thing. So you might have purchased video, and sometimes some creators don't necessarily believe in using colors that that are generic. Some people believe, well, I want to make this into something somebody can use right out of the box. Right. And so what that means then is that they may have branding you don't like. Now, yeah, you can edit it out, but you don't necessarily want to do that all the time. Right. So those are some of the challenges, right? Those are some of the challenges to using PLR video as it exists in the marketplace. Now I'm going to tell you about, so here's what the most popular view on how to use PLR video, right? I'm just going to run through this. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. You'll recognize this, and this is just generally what is taught, right? So now, one view about video is you can't. Right, it's hard. Just use the text and or audio PLR instead. Just don't even bother with it. Right now, and so that's one way that some people handle the issue. Some people say, look, just sell it as is. Use the sales pages to come with the package. Put it up on your server. Put that buy button on there. Drive people to the thing and just get them buying it. Right, so don't even worry about it. And that is one way that's one way to teach it, right? And that's one way. And I think some people are actually able to I think profit and prosper that way. Another view is that, well, don't sell it, just use it as content on your website, and then it won't look like you're trying to pass off something that's not you. And then another thing, some people say, well, sell it, but make it over in your own voice using transcripts, right? That's another way to do it. Right? Some people would prefer to do that. In fact, I think I just saw Kathy just say that's what she prefers to do. Or you can just record it over, right? Just take the video. Don't worry about the transcripts. Just use voice narration in Camtasia. Let the video, let the video portion play, and then you just do the narration, right? Some people do it that way in Camtasia. I've actually taught that and how to do that. That's another way to do that. Or, some people, and I have done this with other PLR video, right? I will just sometimes I will just watch something all the way through if I don't know a subject. And I might buy video, I might buy PLR video. And sometimes I might buy PLR video because I don't want to watch anybody's video on YouTube and then use their information because it's sort of theirs, right? So for me, I might get a PLR video on a subject I don't know because I know then I have the rights to do it over. And then I just use it to kind of put into my brain, to put into my person, so that I can just soak it in, and then when I teach it, it'll come back out, right? So that is another way to do it. Another way to do it, and now not another way to do it. The problem with all of these, right? If I were to sum up all of these things, right? The popular way of using PLR video is that you do not gain the leverage or authority in time, right? So in other words, you either want to leverage authority or you want to leverage time. And so if you've got to go back and you've got to re-record it, man, that's a painstaking process. Right now, it's definitely worth the process. It's worth your time, but it is a long process. And unfortunately, the content game in internet marketing is being prolific. Right? That's really why, and I've said this before. Someone asked, well, why is a video course, why is PLR video so inexpensive? It's because you really need to be able to buy a lot of content. You need to put it in motion a lot. I mean, content is a game that depends on you being prolific. How many of you know that you probably get about 2% engagement by design on Facebook? If you're trying to get engagement on Facebook and you're trying to get your video out there, even if whether you're doing Facebook Live or you're doing or you're uploading video, you're probably getting about 2% if you're not buying it, right? And so it takes a lot of content to get engagement, to get activity. And so if you were to do this with a lot of video, it would just take a long time, and you would not get the level of authority in the time frame that you really need it in order to get the leverage, right? So here's the question, right? Here's another question that I would ask you. Do you really want to position yourself as a geek or a basic strategist, right? Because if you buy PLR video, you're getting basic strategy. And do you really want to position yourself as somebody who understands how to record these things on screen? I mean, we do a lot of screencast videos. Or do you want to position yourself as a basic strategist? I'm going to argue that you don't. Right? I don't think you want to be a basic strategist. I don't think you want to deliver basic strategy. I think you want to talk to the people in your language, in your context, in your niche. At the same time, though, you and I have to get the leverage of the work that someone's did someone's done when they put together PLR video. You get the leverage of their time and their expertise, yet at the same time, you can then position yourself as an expert and not a geek and not a basic strategist. You will then, in my opinion, you'll be really using PLR video in the way that it provides you the maximum amount of benefit for what you're actually getting. Now, the question then, let's go on. So let's talk about some of the basic steps in using and customizing PLR video. And so one of the first things you want to do is you want to make sure you get PLR video with engaging audio. Right? That's important, right? The audio will get people turned off of your video faster than you can shake a stick. And if you're not all that engaging, then, you know, maybe you want to consider not being on there and re-recording in your voice. Even if you are more authoritative, listen, some people just don't really need to record video. I mean, you're kind of person that kind of wipes them out and puts them to sleep, yeah, then maybe a lot of video is not going to be doing. Make sure you're getting engaging audio is the point, right? Also, make sure you purchase good instruction. I know you can't always tell when you're looking, but you should know by the vendors by now who's going to take the time to make sure that you're getting good instruction and make sure that you're teaching people something that is going to be not only true, but it's going to be meaningful, right? Or that it is, if you're going to buy a course, you want to make sure that the person or people or vendor or creator understands how to walk people through a process that will lead them someplace, as opposed to having, let's say, 20 videos on independent subjects that just don't go anywhere, right? Make sure you get good instruction. Make sure that you then go to this next step. And this is where I've taught this before. And I really want you to zero in on this, right? Because I think that this is really the key to being able to take PLR video and make it into something that's really going to engage your audience, and it's going to give you the authority that you want, and it's also going to give you the leverage in terms of your time, and you're going to leverage the expertise of the person creating the video. And that's to record a contextual front bumper. And I'm going to get to what that is in a minute. You also then want to record a contextual back bumper with a call to action, right? Record a contextual front bumper, then record a contextual back bumper with a call to action. You should do that for every video that you get. Now, you should be recording additional videos in addition to the set that you get. So in those areas where the person did not cover everything, you should be recording in your own voice. Now, I'm going to tell you how you're going to tie that into the videos that you're buying here in a minute. So don't worry about the fact, well, it's not going to sound like the other ones. That's not going to be the point. That's not going to be a problem if you're going to do it the way we're going to be talking about here in this video. And then now I used to teach that you want to splice videos with YouTube Editor. And this is really why this is a 2.0 version and why there's going to be a part 2, because I need to kind of talk to you about how you're going to go about this, because it used to be very easy. You used to be able to upload everything to YouTube Editor. We'd splice them together and then we'd have a different video. That's probably not going to be as easy to do anymore. And there is another way. I'm going to be showing you how to do that. And I know you already know how to do this with Camtasia. But again, I think, this needs to be an easier process, even than that, right? It needs to be easier even than going to Camtasia. And I know that a number of you know how to do that, right? And that is a way to do it, to reproduce the video using Camtasia. But it used to be a very easy process, but we'd upload everything to video and splice them together. We can't do that anymore. And then, of course, you download videos from YouTube. So if you can't upload them, you can't download them. And again, we're going to be doing a part 2. I'm going to show you how to do this. But you're going to, at the end, you're going to bundle up the new videos, and then you're going to cross-post them every place that you are going to do them. Now, what I want you to do, and I'm going to do this the same thing that I did on my channel right now, is let's just assume that my niche is going to be, I am talking to weight loss coaches, right? And I've taken my PLR on YouTube marketing to sell them a product to help them market better, right? Does that make sense? Everybody with me on that? Right? So the people that I sell to, this is the example we're doing, is that my niche is going to be weight loss coaches. And so I'm going to sell them a product on how to market better on YouTube. So everybody with me? So if you get where I'm coming from right now, please put the letter Y in the question box if you understand what the example is going to be. All right, before I move on, I want to make sure you understand it. And if you don't, I'm going to explain it to you. Okay, so everybody's with me here. All right, very good. Now, okay, so let's talk about then how to put that front bumper on the video, right? So what's the front bumper going to say? How am I going to record that video? What's it going to say? What's going to be in it? What's the script? Okay, so here's the script for the front bumper. You can adapt it for your niche. Now, again, once again, you should have a niche. You should have a focus. You should have something that you're focusing on. You should be talking to people in a sliver of the market, right? You can't talk to all people about everything. You should be talking to a sliver of people about a little something, right? Now, I'm not gonna get on my soapbox about that, but that's just kind of where I'm coming from. Now, okay, greetings. Now, you don't have to say greetings, but greetings. Um, and again, this is what the video is going to sound like. Okay, greetings. Now, you're definitely interested in doing more videos to promote your weight loss coaching business, as well as learning more about video marketing. And the training in this video is going to be showing you how to set up your YouTube channel. Now, listen, what's important when you're coaching people in weight loss is that they probably feel a little self-conscious about their appearance. You are going to hear the trainer talking about picking images. Make sure that the images you pick set your customers at ease about the rest of the program while the rest of the time inspiring them to want to do better. When you pick your images, get regular people. Don't look for models. And with that, I want you now to watch the trainer as he shows you how to initially set up your YouTube channel. I'm going to come back at the end to point out a few more things you may want to do as well as to show you my own channel. Right? Okay, does everybody understand that? Right? That is a front bumper. That is an example of a front bumper. Is everybody with me on that? So if you get where I'm coming from, you don't have to agree with it, right? I'm not asking you if you agree. I just want to make sure you understand it, right? So if you understand, put the number 1 in the question box. What a front bumper is and what you should be saying in the front bumper. Right? Now, if you don't, right, ask me, right? I'm happy to answer your question. Right? This is what you say. So basically, you take my PLR video, and what you're saying is now, who's the authority? Who's the authority now? You are, right? All you're doing is leveraging the PLR video, right? You're saying now, here's the trainer, and basically, you know, I'm saying, you know, you're allowed to put me down a little bit. You say, well, man, this guy didn't quite get it right. Here's some things you also want to think about. And you're going to talk directly to people in your niche. So I used the example of weight loss coaches. Let's say that you're in a business opportunity and you want to start talking to people about how to get people into their business. Then you talk to them specifically about the training and you talk to them in your voice. Right now, let's talk about the script for the back bumper, right? Let's talk about the script. Now, again, we're going to do this. I understand it's a lot of work, but you're going to do this with every video. And you have to trust me that this is worth your time. Right, here's the script for the back bumper. Okay, so the video just finished, the training just got done, and now here's the end. Okay, so now they switch back to you. You say, now you've seen how to set up your channel. And you haven't done so, you can now go get images. You can go get images. One thing that the trainer said was to use Fiverr.com. I want to caution you, though, when you use Fiverr.com and suggest that you make sure to get people that have a good rating, even if you have to wait a little longer. In fact, we have an outsourcing guy in our member area. In the next video, we'll get into branding. Now, one thing to mention is that in the advanced course, will give you specific case studies to follow from actual weight loss coaches, right? Okay, so that's the back bumper. All right, so if you get what I'm coming from in the back bumper, I want you to put number 2 in the question box. If you get that, right? Call to action, right? I gave a call to action. What am I doing with the call to action? I'm saying go get the advanced course. I'm saying buy more stuff, right? Go buy the advanced course. And again, what you're doing here is you're not trying to fool anybody. What you're doing is you're bringing real value to people. Because look, if I record a video on YouTube Live, I don't know your market. I don't know your niche. I don't know your people. You know them, and you should be talking to them in your voice, but you shouldn't be, in my opinion, right? I don't think you should be the expert on how to set up a YouTube channel. Let me do that, right? Let me do that stuff for you. You then take that video and then you say, well, listen, here's how this applies in network marketing, or here's how this applies to small businesses in your local area. You be that person, right? You be that expert that can explain and make things make sense for your people. Right now, I know that's a lot of work. So I said that there's an alternative to doing bumpers for all the videos. I think that's the way you should do it, but I understand it's a lot of work. Not everybody wants to do that, right? So you can do this, right? You can just do 2 bumpers if you don't want to do one for each video. That's personally the way I think you should do it, because I think that's the most authoritative, gives the most value to your customer, but you may not want to do that. Let's just say that you're going to complete and edit 2 bumpers. One for the front will go on all the videos. One on the back will go on all the videos. Again, one bumper for the front, one bumper from the back. You're going to put it on all the videos. Now, again, why are you doing bumpers? You're doing the bumpers so that, number one, you get associated with the teaching, right? That's why you're doing it. Number two, you can add on additional videos in your voice, right? So this is why this is important. So let's say you don't want to do bumpers on all the videos. Wonderful. It doesn't matter about that if you're going to add on additional videos, right? The other thing is you're making the PLR unique, and I'm gonna come back and tell you why that's important here at the end. You are niching down the content, right? So you have YouTube video, but you're niching it down to your people. So what's a semi-generic front bumper for all the videos in the course? What's that going to sound like? Okay, we've partnered with a marketing trainer to teach on the subject of Facebook marketing. In this video, we're going to cover all the basics of setting up your fan page. Okay, now this next line I said you hear Charles not talk about, but you don't want to leave, you wouldn't mention my name. That's so just so you know, you wouldn't have to mention my name. What you will not hear is the trainer talk about the specifics when it comes to what you need to do as a weight loss coach. We've covered that in the PDF guide in the members area. We've also covered that in videos 12 through 17. Now again, parenthetically, I'm going to say that that's where your extra videos will be. So make sure that you can do what's being taught in this video before you move on to the advanced content. Now that's going to go on all the videos, right? That's going to go on all the videos. Everybody with me on that? So that's a semi-generic front bumper that goes on all the videos, right? You see the difference, right? So if you understand what I just did, you see the difference, put the number 3 in the question box, right? So that's semi-contextual, that's semi-generic, right? That's something that you may want to do a bumper for all the videos, which I think you should do. You may just want to do a bumper for all the videos that will go on all the videos, one bumper, right? So let's talk about the back one, right? Here's a semi-generic back bumper. Okay, so now you've seen how to set up your entire Facebook profile. This is something you want to take care of right away. When you've completed this, write into the Facebook group and let us know you're done. We'll then share your page throughout our entire social network. Also, remember that you don't want to confuse your members by showing them all kinds of affiliate products. Your goal in creating your page is to get them to take responsibility for their health and to be accountable, right? Do what you can to encourage sharing and discourage shaming, right? So that's a back bumper, and that's semi-generic. So we can put that on all the videos. So we don't have to record an individual bumper for each video. We're going to take one bumper and do it for all the videos. Everybody with me on that? All right, so now let's go on. Okay, now here's another semi-generic back bumper, right? Congratulations on completing the training. Do you have any questions? If you do, Take a minute, write them down. Once you completed all the videos, and send your questions to questions@yourdomain.com. In most cases, there are some action steps. And when that's the case, you'll want to walk through the steps as soon as possible. Also, consider talking through the points with your partners if you've gone through a new procedure. It's a good idea if you allow them to watch the same video and then you both compare notes. Finally, for tutorial videos, we recommend that you familiarize yourself with the exact steps on real applications before you move on to the next video. This will help you to be assured that you can explain it to the person that will be taking the task and that you can do it successfully. If you're ready now, move on to the next video in the series. Okay, another semi-generic back bumper. That's how you would, that's a script of what you would say. Right now, again, you can adapt that, but that's generally what you would say. Right, is everybody with me on that? Right, so if you get that, put the number 4 in the question box, if you're with me. All right, very good. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about some additional videos. So I think you should record some additional videos in addition to the course. Now, here's where the bumpers are really going to help you. So let's say that you recorded some PowerPoint style videos and you put those on the beginning and the end of all your videos, right? That means then, guess what? You can then add on additional videos, right, in your own voice. So in other words, your bumpers began with PowerPoint, so then you can just do PowerPoint videos. That's why this is so important for you to add on those bumpers, because then it's not going to look incongruous for you to then do a PowerPoint video of your own that'll look like all the others, right? So all the videos are going to begin the same way and end the same way, because when your additional videos is going to look just like a bumper. Right now, this is the case where you want to do the additional videos before you actually create the additional bumpers, right? So again, so now you want to try to keep those additional videos between 3 and 5 minutes, unless the PLR videos you're buying are different, right? So if all the PLR videos you're buying are going to be 5 to 7 minutes, then that's how long your additional video should be. So if you have to combine a couple to get up to that level, then just do it. Just kind of make them all the same. So don't make them all dramatically different. In other words, don't have the PLR video be all 5 to 7 minutes and then all your videos are going to be 2 to 3. It's not going to look congruous. But if you make sure that if all your videos are going to be average 2 to 3 minutes, make sure your videos are going to be 2 to 3 minutes, and vice versa also. So if your videos that you're buying are all 3 minutes, don't make yours 10. Right? Okay, so so let's say that you get to the middle of your video and you think, well, man, I'm not quite done. If you are in the middle of a concept, and again, I know you know this, but I'm just going to tell you anyway, stop the video and say start part 2. So stop the video in the middle and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to stop the video right here, and we're going to pick up in part 2 of this. We're going to discuss how to get your YouTube channel up and running. Right? So just stop the video. If you get to that point, you should be watching your clock. You should be watching your timing. And when you get to that point, you just say, hey, you know what? We're going to stop the video right here. We're going to pick it up the next one. Right now. This is also going to be pretty important. And I know this is not something that people do a lot of. I try to do it. I think you should do the same thing. Create the video knowing that some people like to listen to things while they work. Right? Not everybody can sit down and watch a video. And I'm notorious for this. I like to listen sometimes to a video while I'm at the gym. And I don't want to concentrate on the video. Right? Sometimes I like to listen to things, or sometimes I like to turn things on while I'm working. Right? And if you make the video engaging to listen to, you're going to have people engaging with your content. Try to do that. Right? Try to create the videos that you do knowing that people are just going to listen. So if all they're doing is listening, they'll still get it. Right? Now, the content for your additional videos should solve a specific problem. Right? This is why you really get cool points from your client, your customers, when you do additional videos, because you're going to solve the problems. So in other words, the geeky stuff and the basic stuff, yeah, you got somebody else to do that stuff. but now you're going to start to add the value. Now you're going to start really bringing me into what's really going to change my life, right? So let's say that, how many of you are a little more inspirational in what you like to bring to people, right? So if you like to do more inspirational discussion, if that's you, I want you to put number 5 in the question box. You like to inspire people. You like to lift people. You like to push people. You like to make people go a little farther. If that's you, then here, this is why you go get somebody else to do the geeky stuff, right? And then what you do is when your additional video content, you start to tell people, listen, you got to budget your time, right? You have to be dedicated. You have to be single-minded. That's the stuff you want to tell people because you know that's going to change their life. But you are the one that brought them, right? You took them through the geeky stuff, but at the end, in the additional videos, now you're going to bring it home. Now you're going to make it make sense to them. Now you're going to make this and turn them into that powerhouse. Okay, so now your additional video content should be niche specific, right? So if somebody comes from outside the niche, they shouldn't understand what you're talking about, right? In other words, that if I'm not in your niche and I see your videos or the videos you did over with my PLR, I shouldn't even understand them, because you should be so focused on your niche. You should be so dialed into who they are and talking to them that somebody who gets those videos shouldn't even understand what you're talking about. Right now, this is good, not bad. Now, the content that you purchase should solve generic problems and provide basic information. Again, high quality, right? It should be high quality, but you are the one to bring the value. Right now, the content should be simple and done using a PowerPoint file. And when you write your sales copy and you add to it, you should be focused on these videos that make your course unique, right? That's the key. You should be focused on the value you bring, not just the instruction that you're getting in the PLR video. And the other thing is this, I know I talk about this a lot, and I'm gonna just keep talking about it, right? Your USP should be evident in the additional content, in the additional videos, right? So this is what's going to help you to sell more stuff. So in other words, what's your USP? Your USP is the thing that I can only get from you. Someplace in those additional videos, it should come out, something in there, those additional videos should be, I can only get that from you, right? There's got to be something. This is what I call the X factor that nobody can teach you. That nobody can put in your sales letter, that nobody can put in your videos. This is that, what they call it, the je ne sais quoi, right? I don't really know French. My wife says that all the time, but the je ne sais quoi, it should be that, the X factor, that should be in your videos, right? That should be in these additional videos. The something that nobody else has, that I can only, if I watch your video, I should say, you know what? I don't know what it is about this one. I just like them. That should be in those videos also, your USP. Now, I want to talk a little bit about sizing. So if you don't want to use a video editor like Camtasia, and again, we're not talking about YouTube. Again, I'm gonna explain this, how you do this about YouTube. I want to get to dimensions. This is right now. This is where we are, right? So if you're gonna match PLR videos, you ought to be doing 1280 by 720, 1920 by 1080. Very important. Try to match the videos. So first, figure out what the videos are. Make sure your bumpers and make sure your additional videos are the same size. Very important. Otherwise, it's not going to look congruous, right? It's going to be incongruous. So you have to figure that out. Now, again, let's say that they have not, and unfortunately, I've seen this where some of the videos are not done in HD. Right, you might have to redo those videos anyway just to get them in HD, right? What you're doing when you do that, you're accommodating YouTube with the 16:9:9 format. That's in case you're going to be putting these videos on YouTube. When you create your PowerPoint slides, this is important. Make sure that your sizing is going to be 16:9, please. Because again, it's going to be evident, and then you're going to say, well, Charles Harper told me to do this and my videos look all messed up. No, please don't do that. make sure that your videos that your PowerPoint slides, when you do it, are going to be 16 by 9, right? And then make sure they're all going to be HD widescreen. And it's going to make a difference in the appearance of your content when you're recording and you're rendering. Now, again, the next step used to be to upload to YouTube. Obviously, we can't do that. Again, I'm going to come back and I'm going to do this again. And I'm going to propose a couple of solutions to you. Now, again, I know you know how to do Camtasia, but there are some other ways you can do this. Some of them may cost you a little bit, but again, if you're working with video a lot, you might want to consider some of these things. Now, again, if you already got Camtasia, Screencast-O-Matic, then I think you already have your solution, right? You don't have to go buy anything. But if that's not what your thing, and you want to use YouTube, I think I found the solution. I think I have. I just need to test it before I bring it to you. Okay, so any questions? Let's see. Let me kind of read back through here. Okay, yeah. So Jim's asking, where's the replay to this going to be found? So if you signed up for this one, then just watch for the GoToWebinar. The replay is going to be in it. So the replay will come right back to the same email as your GoToWebinar. So wherever you signed up, that's where the replay will come back. And yeah, okay. So Jim says je ne sais quoi means I don't know what. Yeah, I think right. Yeah, I just can't describe. I don't want to pretend like I'm, like I really know like I really know French. I just heard je ne sais quoi. I like to use that word. Oh yeah, thank you, Steph. I'm glad it helped. I'm glad it's helped you. Okay, no, great. So any questions? Any other questions? Thank you, everybody. I appreciate your feedback. Okay, so here the main point, guys, is that you want to leverage the work that somebody else does, and if you're redoing everything, and I have been, and again, I understand wanting to redo things in your own voice. Understand what that does, though. That positions you as somebody who does, who's going to be talking about the things in that video. And I don't think that's what you want to do. I think that's what you want to bring them the value of who you are in your niche, right? Okay, everybody. Well, thank you very much for being here. Appreciate you all. Have a great afternoon and a pleasant tomorrow. Take care.